So you can note down the question. Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Note down the question. Find out the price of the material on Lifo last in first out method from the following particulars. So should I write? First we will be showing receipts. That is when the goods are coming. And then we would be showing the date, the issues, when issues are being made. So here we have three things. First is date. Then we have date, then we have quantity and the rate. So date, first one is this date is of, let us make it 2020. All dates are of 2020. And you can note it down from February 10. The receipt that was being made was of now unit. So okay, unit is in kg. That is quantity is in kg. 200 kg and rate is of rate is in
The rate
12 rupees. Everybody just check your mic that it is mute. Next date is your Feb 15. Quantity is 300 kg and rate is 14. Next date, you can make it 25 February. Quantity is your 400 and then rate is of 15. You keep noting the question simultaneously so that when we are over with question, we can start finding the solution. Next is your 28 February. Quantity is 100 and rate is 16. So this was your receipts, and on next is issue. So again, all the dates would be of 2020 and your quantity would be in kg and then rate would be in rupees. So issue was being made on Fab 3. So rate we don't know at what rate we would be issuing. This we have to find it out. Now quantity, that was first issue was of 300 kg. Then on February 12, 100 kg. Then February 14, 200 kg. Then 18 February, 200 kg. 26 February, 400. Some further information is given. On 1st February 2020, the opening stock was 400 kg, valued at rupees 11 per kg. So what we have to do, we have to find the price of the material on the basis of Lifo method. Just note down the question so that we can start further. Once you are over, let me know.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Sir, done.
Done, sir.
Okay, so everybody has noted the question in your copy.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us
sir.
Yes,
let us
sir.
solution. How we are going to do it. So you know what we do, we mention store ledger account. So write on store ledger account, and the basis is your Lifo basis. So yesterday I told that how you are going to make it. First column would be of date, then receipts, then is your issues, and then is your balance. In receipts, what we have? Quantity, rate, and amount. So again, you can make 3 sub-column: quantity, rate, amount. And similarly, in this quantity, rate, amount, again you can make sub-column in issues, quantity, rate, amount. That is your balance. So one by one, we have to make entries of both receipts, issues, and what is the balance. So your first date is of that is your opening stock, 1st February. So our this date column.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर
Yes.
सर बैलेंस में क्वांटिटी और रेट और अमाउंट तीनों होगा लास्ट क्वेश्चन में आपने बस क्वांटिटी और अमाउंट ही लिखाया था
हाँ, इसमें तीनों रहेगा. पिछली बार जो हमने क्वेश्चन किया था that was one of the basic question and I told that like date was missing in that. So in this question we are having date, so you can write down date also over here.
सो नो सर नॉट डेट सर रेट
No, I got it. I'm telling, you're telling na sir this.
यस सर
Huh? Yes, in this we will write down rate also,
ओके
so
सर
that we know at what rate we are having balance.
ओके सर
For calculation purpose, it is basically last in first out. So the item which is coming last, and at the time of issue, we would be issuing that very item. If balance is remaining, then we would be issuing from the previous item.
ओके सर
Then, so if you have to down, अगर कोई आज की डेट में आया तो पहले इसको इशू करेंगे, देन जो पहले की डेट में आया उसको बाद में इशू करेंगे. ठीक है?
ओके सर
That's why we need rate over here. So let us start with 2020. All dates are of 2020. First one is your February 1. February 1, what was your opening balance? Quantity was
400 kg,
400 and rate was 11.
11 per kg.
So I will not write 11.00. This first question I am writing, then the rest we can just write 11. So amount would be 4,400. You can sit with calculator so that you can do it fast. But you can do it manually also. That would be a very good idea if you do it manually, because questions are not very calculative. So our balance would be 400, rate would be 11, and this is your opening balance. This is your opening balance. Now you see the dates. You see the dates in the question. So what are the dates? February 10 and February 3. So first one is a February 3. First one is a February 3. So in February 3, we will be making the next entry. So this is your 3rd February. 3rd February, you are making an issue. Issue of quantity is 300. So rate, only one rate we are having. That is 11. So amount would be 3,300. And balance would be from this 400. If you subtract 300, we get 100. And again, rate is 11. So amount that is left is 1100.
तो ये Feb 1 कहाँ से है?
Balance. Any
बैलेंस है
तो जो Feb 1 का जो अमाउंट निकाले हैं वो पूछ रहे थे.
वो
हैं?
ओपनिंग स्टॉक है.
अच्छा ओपनिंग स्टॉक है, ठीक है सर.
ओपनिंग स्टॉक है वो.
ओपनिंग स्टॉक में से हमने पहला इशू किया 300.
यस
तो
सर.
यस सर.
400 minus 300. This 400 we were having a balance. Then we subtracted 300. So we got 100.
ओके सर.
Clear?
यस
So
सर.
now you see the next date. Next date what we are having?
February.
Which February?
In February.
Okay, so let's just make entry of 10th February. So here we are making receipts. So receipts, your quantity is 200. Rate is 12. So amount becomes 2,400. So now let us write down balance. So first we will write down the previous balance. This is our previous balance. Yes or no? This is our
Yes, sir.
then
Yes, sir.
the current balance, that is 200. which is at of 12, which is at the rate of 12. Your amount is 2400. So what we are doing, we are clubbing this two. Clear? So you make one, what we call this, you make one this also. The thing shown in red. You club it.
So curly brackets.
Yes, you make curly brackets. So that you know that it is both are on the same date, 10th February. Now next date is your 12th February. What you are doing? Just check it into a question.
Issue.
You are making an issue.
Issue.
So here in receipts you put dash, and in issue, what is the quantity?
So it's 100.
So 100. So this 100 you would be making issue from last in first out. So last was your 200. So from this 200 you would be subtracting this 100. So first you are making an issue from this 200. So rate would be
12.
yes, very good. Rate would be 12. Amount would be
1200.
1200. And now the balance. Balance first the previous balance at the rate of 11. Then in next this 200 minus this 100. So how much you are left? You are left with
100.
100. And the rate would be 12.
12.
Again, you make a curly bracket over that you know that this both items are together. Now, amount you can write down 1100 and
1200.
clear. Now, next date we will take. Next date is your
14.
what?
14 February.
Again, we are making an issue. So, what is the quantity on 14 February?
200.
200.
So you see the last one. You see the last one. This, then yellow.
Yes, sir.
First, we will be issuing this one, the thing shown in yellow color. That is 100 at the rate of 12.
12.
Then the balance we would be issuing from above. That is shown in your blue color. This one. So next we would be doing from that blue color. That is your 100 and rate would be
11.
11. So that is the balance. So you again put a curly bracket so that you know that these both are together. And amount, you can calculate it and write down in one figure, that is your 2300. Is it clear?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we are getting confused. The quantity that on 14th February that we are issuing is 200.
Yes, sir.
So you see the previous balance. The yellow color 100, first we will issue that. Now the
Yes, sir.
balance that is remaining is of 100, we will issue from the blue color.
Hmm.
So 100
Yes.
from yellow and then 100 from blue. So 100 is your at the rate of 12, 100 from blue at the rate of 11. Now 1200 plus 1100, that makes 2300.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Yes,
Now
sir.
what is the balance left
Yes.
now? What is the balance left now? It is nil.
No balance. Nil.
So you write down nil. Now next date.
इसमें रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हो क्या रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हो जितना स्क्रीन रिकॉर्डिंग करना है ना
15 February.
Next date is your
15 February.
very good 15 February. So first we are making receipt on 15 February of 300 quantity.
300 quantity.
Rate is given, that is 14. So you calculate 14 3s are 42.
4200.
So it comes 4200. Now we write in balance. What we would be writing in balance? The same thing.
Yeah.
100 at the rate of
14.
and quantity is 4200. Now next date is
18
18.
February.
so I'm moving this little bit. So on 18 February, what we are doing? We are making an issue. So issue is क्या भाई सब्जी भी बिक रहा है इसमें तो अपना म्यूट कर लो So issue you are making of on
200.
February is of 200. So you do it. See, we are having balance of 300. We are having balance of 300. So from this 300, we are only issuing 200. So rate would be 14 only. The last in, first out. So again, here it is 2800. Your amount of issue and the balance that remains is of
100.
100. Rate would be 14, and so it comes
1400. 1400.
1400. Now next date is of 20.
25th
Yes.
February.
So here you are making receipt of 400. Rate is
15.
15. So that amounts to 15 for the 660.
6,000.
Now balance. Now balance, how you will write? First we will write previous one. So previous one is your 100. So first we will write this 100. Rate is 14. 1400. And now next what we will write? The current
400. 400.
We will write 400. Rate is 15. Amount is
Amounts 6,000.
6,000. And you put a curly bracket so that you know that these both are together. Now next date 26.
26th February.
So here receipts nil. Then we are making issue. So write down issue.
400.
So
Issue.
issue is of 400. So first 400 from where we will be using? First 400 we use it from this one, the last one. So here you can write down 400. The rate would be the same.
15.
The same which is given, that is 15. So amount would be 6,000. Now the balance that is left is of
100.
the balance that is left is of
100.
100. So write down 100. And the rate is of
14.
Rate is of 14. So you write down 14. So it comes to 1400. Now next
28th February.
next is 28th February. So we are making receipts. So receipt is of 100 quantity. Rate is 16. And this is your 1600. Now you can write the balance. Balance is, first we will write the
100.
previous one, that is 100. So write down 100. Rate is 14. And now write the current one. Write the current one. So it is 100. Rate is 16. You put curly bracket
1600.
so that you know that these both are together, and it comes to
1600.
1400, the top one, and 1600. So the balance that you are left with is this much, 1400 and
3000.
1600. The stock
3000.
amount you will not write in one amount. You have to write it separately. This you remember. That amount you have to write it separately over here. Because you are making accounting for each and every rate, you are making different rates. So
Okay,
in
sir.
this way, this is your last in.
First out.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now next method, that is known as
Lifo.
HIFO. Can anybody tell me its full form? Can anybody tell me? No? Next is your
Sir, highest in first out method.
highest in
First out method.
first out. So here what we will be doing, the rate which is of higher, first we will be issuing that. Again, we will see one question on this. So I think so for today it is sufficient, or should we move ahead? You can just take a screenshot of this, the previous one. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you can take a screenshot of this so that at the time of revision, you can just revise. Now, should I close it? If everybody is done.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now we are over with our class. Now we can discuss or talk something else. So how many of you have an idea of Indian economy right now during the phase of COVID? How is Indian economy performing right now? Any idea?
Not good, sir.
Not good.
Sir,
Not
it is
good.
in a slow process of recovery,
Because
but
many
the
things,
pace is really slow.
Mhm. Okay, anyone? You just discuss. I would be continuing within 2 minutes. So I want to listen your opinion regarding Indian economy, how it is doing. So one by one, each and every one, those who want to share their opinion, they can say. I would be just listening. No one is discussing. No one want to speak.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Tell me.
Many sectors are not performing well due to the pandemic, and they are not getting what they got in before the pandemic. So there are many things which did not let them to do their work very well. So that's why our Indian economy is in the position which is not good.
Okay. Anybody, do you know why initially lockdown was being imposed, and then now we are not having any lockdown right now, although cases are rising?
Because that time, अगर उस समय ये ना एक तरह का बहुत ये एक जो कोविड-19 आया था, उससे बहुत डर गए थे लोग, तो ये हमारे लिए एक बहुत बड़ा भयानक हो सकता था, इसलिए जरूरी था कि लॉकडाउन करना उस समय.
Can you view what is being shown?
Financial problem also.
Yes. Can you see this? What I'm writing over here? No?
Not clear, sir.
It is barbell. BARBELL. Barbell strategy.
Striker.
No. Strategy. No. Okay, don't see it, just know it. It is known as barbell strategy. Now, what is this? Barbell strategy is an economic response in which first we need to protect from the maximum loss. So preparing for the worst. Preparing for the worst initially, then slowly and steadily, this lockdown would be lifted up. And once we are prepared, then we can lift it up. So this is known as barbell strategy. It is an economic strategy. Now, during that time, India adopted it. So it was very tough decision whether we should go for this strategy or not, because we don't know how this virus is going to affect. So until and unless we don't know the effect, we cannot take risk. Now we know it that this virus is not very dangerous for us. It is not that dangerous what we supposed initially. Now we are well prepared, although vaccines are under your development phase, but still we are well prepared. Now we are more aware in terms of, like, we have to put face mask and we have to take basic precautionary measures, then we can survive in this. So now we are well prepared. So during this phase, when lockdown was being imposed, your Indian economy, what it happened that there was supply constraint. You, in economics, you must have read about demand and supply. Yes, demand, when demand is high, price increases, and when supply is not there, then also price increases. So initially demand constraint was not there, initially supply constraint was there. Supply constraint means since no transportation was taking place, so it was very tough for goods to reach at the place where it was required. Now, once we are over with this means now economy has opened up. Now we are left with no more supply constraint. Now goods can reach at the places where we want. Now we are facing with demand constraint. Now, can you tell me what is this demand constraint? Can anyone? How this demand constraint? Demand constraint means Now demand is not there, or demand is very less. This Diwali, the market did not perform very well. Why this was there? Now, in terms of this, if you observe, what you see that now people are in fear factor. They already lost their investment. They already lost their job. So people are still fearful, and
Financial issue.
those who are left with small savings, they do not want to spend. And since people don't want to spend, it is going to lead into lack of demand in the economy. Now this lack of demand, what it is going to do, that the manufacturer, they are going to increase the prices. As you must have read about that, when there is crisis, to cover the losses, manufacturers, they increase the price, and due to that increase in price, demand become more less. So we are in period of recession. Now we are moving towards recession. But if you see your market, how it is performing, the benchmark index, that is the barometer of Indian economy, we can measure through stock indices. Like for example, in India, how is your Sensex performing? How is your Nifty performing? By knowing that, we can measure how Indian economy is performing. At the time of lockdown in March, the Sensex, which was earlier 40,000, fell from 40,000, 42,000 to, it fell to 28,000. Then right now, current status, we have risen again back to 44,000 after opening up. So this means that we have recovered in our Indian economy. But this recovery is not being felt in the economy. Are you getting it? So by data, we see that Indian economy has recovered. But what we see in the market is that there are demand constraints. People are not moving towards consumerism. People don't want to spend. So government is taking steps, or they are providing credit facilities to business, so they get the capital at low cost. People get credit at low cost so that they can spend in the market. So one such schemes, like government initially started with, that is your special festival advance scheme for the government, or LTC cash voucher scheme, again for the government servant. Earlier, the most affected industry that was affected was your tourism, isn't it? Tourism.
Yes, sir.
Then government wanted to push so that people expand. So they started giving voucher scheme to government servant, so that they can go for spending their money on any product, and instead of getting leave travel concession, now they can get the cash instead of their flight tickets or railway tickets. They can utilize on other products which is having GST at the rate of 12% and above. So basically this category includes those products which are more consumer oriented. Similarly, they came up with advance scheme. Then government came up with Atmanirbhar Bharat. Atmanirbhar Bharat is not banning China, as most of them think. Atmanirbhar Bharat is not banning China, rather it is from the side of that that suppose during globalization era, if any ready-made shirt was being manufactured, then cotton used to come from India, labor used to come from Bangladesh, button used to come from China, and in this way product was being made. from various parts of the country. Now, due to supply constraint, it was felt that now we need to localize whatever manufacturing is being done. So Atmanirbhar Bharat is more oriented towards localization rather than banning import. Now we are moving towards how we are going to adopt to post-COVID world. How we are going to adopt. Like you can see in your education, the most affected industry again was your education. And now how we can adopt. Now question is this. So I want from you suggestions that how in this post-COVID world, how things is going to change or can be changed. So we have Aarti Mishra, Priyanka Jaiswal, Sapna, Swapnil, Tanu, Tanya Chandrayan, Tanya Chaudhary, Ujala Kumari. So you have your put your ideas how in this post-COVID world, how we are going to adopt.
So we can support the government, as the government has issued various programs for vocal for local. So if we support more of the local products, and this will increase the employment also, which has vastly affected the unemployed youth. So if we support them, this can help.
Okay, very good. Very good, very good, very good suggestion.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Priyanka, you tell me. Do you have any idea? You can take it from any field. You can take from agriculture, industry. You can take from hospitality. You can talk on any field. So what do you think how this education would be in this post-COVID world?
Sorry, sir.
What do you think how education as an industry would be performing after this post-COVID world? Because since this is the most affected area,
Yes, sir.
schools are not opened up, colleges are closed, universities are shut down. Still there is no hope till 2-3 months. What do you suggest? How we can move further? One of the solution could be digitization. One of the solution could be creation of online application.
Yeah.
So that what right now is defunct, at least people are in mode of learning. One is that provision of various gadgets to students, so that provision of internet connectivity. So these are the ways in which we can move forward. But if we see the economic condition of India, people here are still not able to purchase laptop, or still people are not able to have internet connectivity due to cost. So during this period, at least for those who are in education, government can provide support in terms of providing online facility by providing them internet connectivity at a very low cost, or provision of laptop facility through credit. Suppose you are being financed one laptop at the rate of rupees 500 rupees per month, so that you can afford also, and you will have your own device so that you can connect and continue your education. So these are some of the suggested methods.
So, but this online learning is giving way to a lot of cheating, and all nobody takes it very seriously. What I have seen in my friend circle.
Okay, that may be true to some extent. I don't deny it. But
Yes.
at least see when new system comes in, it is quite a reform is needed. Now, when we are not having any road ahead, we are not having any road ahead, so we can just manage it. I don't
Yes,
say
sir.
that we can substitute it, but at least suppose in your class, uh, most of the people go outside right now after the opening of the, even at this time, students should be allowed to visit university in small batches rather than whole class coming to the classroom.
Yes, sir.
They can come at least once a week for clearance of their doubt, or just to have the feel of that they are moving outside and then they are learning the things, or to have connectivity with their friends. So both mechanism needs to be used. We cannot completely go for online, or we cannot completely go for offline, because again, so solutions has to be found out. I mean to say, when you are thinking in terms of, see, you are going to be in, suppose in future positions, how you deal with the things when you are at decision making point position. If you do not take decision, then it is going to affect the public at large. Now those people who are sitting in the government, if they do not think properly, they do not manage the things properly, it is moving the nation very, very back. And what I imagine is that nation is moving at least 15 years back or 20 years back, because the entire education is being affected.
Yes, sir.
So we need to find out some solution. So I mean to say that, okay, there are problems and challenges, but at least to some extent we can manage it. Similarly, you can suggest in agriculture area what are the challenges that is coming up. See, during this lockdown period, farmers were not able to send their produce outside, so they have to destroy it within their own market. And during this period, government came up with the logic that agriculture needs reform, and they wanted to free up farmers to sell their produce as they wish, uh, as they wish, like those who were involved in supply chain, like those who had created storage. So without labeling them as hoarders, now farmers were given freedom that wherever you get good price, you can sell it over there. Similarly, you can suggest various other measures in various field. So anyone who needs to, just we are having a talk, doesn't matter that whether it is part of your studies or not, just I want to talk. Yes, yes, do you want to?
Sir, once repeat what you say.
It is very tough for me to repeat, but I'm asking how we are going to deal with in post-COVID world. I need your suggestion in whatever area you are in. How we can build the economy after this COVID situation. What does your father do? Ujala?
Yes, sir.
You can
Businessman.
suggest, sorry?
What you say, sir?
What does your father do?
Business.
Business. So did he face any problem in business during this COVID period?
Yes, sir.
So can you discuss what was the problem being faced by him?
Financial problem.
Yes. Now what could be your solution?
Loan
See,
facility.
loan facility. Yes, very good. Government came up with 20 lakh crore package. Now I just want to have discussion on this. What was the package all about? For example, in this package, fund was there to provide for micro enterprises. So micro enterprises would be getting loan facility of suppose 10,000 crore. Then for agriculture area, government came up with support of agri infrastructure fund to develop infrastructure. Then government came up with animal husbandry infrastructure development. Then came up with herbal cultivation, beekeeping initiatives. So these are various measures that were taken in agriculture and industry. Similarly, they came up with various like housing for middle class, housing for lower class, then working capital through NABARD. Then they came up with Kisan Credit Scheme. They came up with your Mudra schemes for the fresh, for those who want loan for their enterprises. So these were all part of packages.
Credit
Now,
facility for street vendors.
yes, very good. Do you think that government needs to spend this or not?
Yes, sir. It is very necessary
It is very
to.
necessary. Yes, it is very, very necessary because demand is not there in the economy. If demand is not there, you must have heard of the Great Recession during 1930s. You must have heard, you must have not seen, but what you are witnessing is also a recession right now because people are not spending their money if anybody has money. People are not paying, suppose labor is not getting their wages. So from where they are going to spend? So at this time, governmental support is needed in entire economy. Now, now question comes, how this money is going to come up? Can you suggest in this area? How government can finance? Suppose government is spending, from where government will get funds? My question is this.
The government can issue public debt, that is government securities, by which they can finance their expenses by the money lent by the public.
Yes, very good. Those who are having money, government can issue bonds and they can subscribe to the bonds where business is not performing very well. There people can get fixed rate of interest and government ultimately can go for borrowings. So borrowings can be within the country and borrowings can be from outside the country. Whenever we borrow from outside, it comes with constraints, it comes with conditionalities. But once we borrow from inside, the purchasing power is shifted from poor to rich. So ultimately, the interest is that people are going to get on bonds. It is the rich people who would be having interest income. So purchasing power shifts from poor to rich, and there is an increase of inequality in the society. Now,
Sir,
can you give
liquidity
me an example of
is
inequality in society? Like you see, like in your class, there are, I think so, 60, more than 100 students, but only today 18 students are participating. Suppose more can participate, let us make it 40, 50, 60. But still 50% of the students are left out. Why they are left out? Because of inequality. Inequality means they do not either have access to internet facility, or either do not they have access to digital mode, like they do not have laptop or they do not have mobile devices, smartphones. So on one hand you would be getting education, and on other hand they would be they would be at disadvantaged position. So once you are in the process of education, you know the things, you can understand the things. When it comes to job, when you would be asked some question regarding anything, suppose how is recession doing, and you have your opinion, your chances of getting selected to the job position is very high rather than the person who has not attended the class. Are you getting me?
I think all problems are come to the point of finance.
Yes, finance is actually, we cannot distribute finance. We cannot just tell every people to you come and take the money. We need to distribute it those who need it. So our solution from the government point of view, how we can solve it. My question is this: how we are going to solve the problem? So solving problem is not an one day go. It needs continuous effort, continuous solution, continuous idea. So so for today's discussion, I think so. If you read the things, what is happening in the country, along with your, when you are at home, you read some newspaper, you read some economic article book, like you can go for reading Yojana, you can go for reading some magazines, so that you know what is happening in the economy. Since you are a student of business, and you need to know what is happening in the economy. So that what I wanted to discuss for. So I think so for today's our discussion, that is sufficient. That would be giving you some stimulus so that you can read further and know about the economy. And in next class, we can discuss more. See, because I told in my first class that only for 20 or 25 minutes, we would be learning our cost accounting. That is sufficient for a day. And rest, we can have gossip on something which is very much relevant with your education. So anybody for today, any discussion point, or you want to ask anything?
Sir, I have one question.
Yes.
When the pandemic came, and that is in the month of March or April,
Mhm.
the manufacturing units were out of cash. They are unable to pay wages to the laborers, and the laborers were not having salaries. Um, but- so the point I want to say that neither the manufacturer have liquidity nor the working class. So, sir, where did all the money go? So the private consumer consumption also went down. They were not purchasing goods. So when the pandemic came, what impacted the economy? That all the liquidity is soaked, and anyone don't
See,
have.
your question is similar to, like, if gold is having price of rupees 50,000 and suddenly it becomes a price of rupees 10, where is the value gone? Your question is something like this.
Yes, sir. Somewhat.
Although money was there in the economy, but what happened that led to the crisis? And everything what is stored in the form of value that deteriorates. For example, when business were being shut down, now business, the investors who invest their money in the business, they get their valuation from their share.
Yes.
That is in the stock exchange. What was the price of the share of that company? They get their valuation from there. Who is going to buy at what price? Suppose Maruti is going to sell at rupees 7,000. Now suddenly after lockdown, now people predicted that during this lockdown period, no more vehicles could be sold. So Maruti will not make quarterly profit what it was expected earlier. So if it will not make profit, it is going into losses. So its valuation should go down. And from that, let us make it 4,000 or 3,000. 3,000 is the correct valuation. So what happens in the economy that if any event occurs, it leads to what we call in Hindi is mulyankan. We try to evaluate the things from point of view how we are going to, what is the value that we can have it. For example, the cost of the property. How do you calculate the cost of the property? तुमने सुना होगा, you must have heard that this land is costing 50 lakhs, this land is costing 1 crore. How do you calculate the value of that? That value is being calculated on various factors, like the amount of rent that land can generate, the amount of future income that land can generate. For example, if land is there, if you construct some house over there and you can get rent over it. Suppose you are able to get rent of rupees 15,000 per month. Now that amounts to 15,000 into 12 for 1 year and into 30 for another 30 years. So that money can be termed as value of that land. Suppose it comes to rupees 50 lakhs. So 50 lakh is the right valuation of that money because you are going to have rental income of 15,000 rupees per month. So for next 30 years, so your value is determined from your profitability or the profit making ability. How you are going to make profit from a certain. So when business get down, your profit making ability also went down. So initially the valuation, what was there in the, for example, rupees 100 becomes rupees 20. That is the kind of valuation that was there. So it did not go anywhere, it was intangible, but the value deteriorated. So I think so I may not be able to answer your question, but still you may be able to have someone, because these ideas are very abstract. You cannot see, just you have to understand the things. So gold did not go anywhere, but its value went down. Your answer could be like this. Gold did not go anywhere, money did not go anywhere, but its valuation went down.
So maybe because the supply side and demand side both stood still in that situation, so the price could not be determined. The money was there, but because it was not in circulation, so it didn't had any value at that time. Maybe everything was stood still. That's why it did not had value. Although the money was there in the market, but there was no circulation.
Circulation, we cannot stop the circulation because there are essential commodities which needs to be consumed by each and every individual. So there was circulation, but less
Yes,
circulation.
less circulation.
Yes, very good. So the world that you are seeing right now, from your commerce point of view, you are witnessing the biggest shock after World War II. And what we discussed today, that to cope up with this shock, government adopted the barbell strategy, and government came up with various solutions to find out how we can deal with this by giving some stimulus packages and investing in some infrastructure so that demand can be generated in future course of time. Now economy is rebounding and coming back. So in this post-COVID world, what we hope that reforms would be needed in agriculture, reforms would be needed in labor market, reforms would be needed in even financial system, so that the country can become what is self-reliant, that is Nirbhar Bharat. And there are some bottlenecks and challenges in the administrative system and the legal system. So there is a need of next generation reform in the economy. So now we cannot talk of 1990 reform. Already liberalization has happened, already globalization has happened. Now we need to talk of the next generation reform. Now next generation reform could be like uh, increasing of technology. Those who would be adopting technology, they would be moving ahead. So new set of skills needs to be generated in the people. Even you people, those who are at young age, when you would be graduating, a problem would come, like there would be more graduates than what jobs would be not that much. So upskilling and right skilling and your updation of your skills are needed so that you fit into the market and get placed wherever you are. So these are the some of the steps that needs to be taken. And I think so for today, that would be our end of our discussion. So now we would be having our next class, and then we can discuss our next whatever topic it is. So for today, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
sir.
sir.